Let's talk today about Magento product import. In one of my previous videos, I have explained a lot about mass modifications, though the most common way to implement bulk changes is to use import. With the help of import, you can add new products as well as update existing ones. It is also possible to make product categorization and missing product details or remove data you don't need anymore on the fly, right during the upload. Let's go through the main points of import process. As always, I will play with my dummy store and store manager for Magento to show you some tricks I know, having over 10 years of experience in e-commerce. You can try it with me using embedded database, or make a backup of your store to be able to roll back in case of any mishaps afterwards. So on our agenda today is to cover the following questions. How to forget about requirements to import file format. How to perform calculations while product upload. Set default values for any missing attributes. Remove products that are not listed in the file, thus not offered by supplier anymore. The first thing to be mentioned about import via Store Manager for Magento is that you can upload the file with any amount of products, from 1 to 1 million. No limitations, and we are constantly working on optimization to make it even faster. Import is performed with the help of Wizard that guides you through the process step by step. It can be launched from Applications ribbon menu, Main Product toolbar, or Context menu. I know that all imports are unique, so I'm not trying to cover all cases. I will try to explain the main points related to import procedure. Let's start now. The first step is file selection. You can select CSV, TXT, XML, Excel, OpenOffice file, or even archives. You can also download file from your supplier's site or via FTP with specific login and password. It is useful for automated updates. Next step allows you to check how your file is opened. In case you cannot see tables and columns like I have them here, it means that you should try to change the delimiter settings. Here is how incorrect parsing looks like. You can see the data is pretty messed up. In case I change settings back and choose correct delimiter, I can see nice columns with data structured in preview. I do not like the next step, but it's not a good idea just to skip it, as there are a lot of important settings. Hold a second, so I can explain you how to configure those settings. Category delimiters should be used in case you have category specified in one column, like main category, /subcategory, /subcategory, similar to Windows folder path. You might have other symbols used as separator for categories in your spreadsheet. In this case, you should specify the delimiter that you use in your file so Store Manager could recognize the tree. Second delimiter is used for image gallery. Similarly to categories, in case you have image names in one column cell, you should separate them with comma or a semicolon. Just check your file, Images column. In case you have one image name in one cell, you can skip this field. Any other multi-valued columns like tier prices, cross or upsells, or any other data like this can be also separated using some delimiter within one cell. In case you have flat file with one value per cell, leave this value alone. It will not be used anyway. Category option is the one that helps Store Manager recognize your category tree. Is the ID specified in your file or names? Can you show me at least one person who have file from supplier where category ID is fit to database? I haven't seen any. So unless you use CSV file that you have just exported from the store, this feature is useless. In case you have IDs from your supplier, you're not the lucky guy, and you need to find a way to map products yourself. Also, there is an interesting option to keep the category you've applied earlier. If existing goods were assigned to some categories previously and you do not want them to be unassigned, but at the same time you would like to link them to categories from file, let's say, enable this option. For files with new products, this option is not important. Downloadable products option is used to import files for downloadable goods from your PC. I think it's clear what images section allows. Make sure to enable import images checkbox, as it is required in case you want images to be uploaded. Leave all other settings unchanged in case you have images on your supplier's server via URL. In case you have them locally on your computer and a file with image names, specify a folder this way. I'm done with this step. Let's move forward. Next step allows you to import values into specific store view. In case you have no idea what that is, just enable default values at the top. In case you have store view set, use the one that you really need. In most cases, store views are languages, and you have French file to be imported into French view and English file imported into English view. Just enable the view you need. If you do so, make sure to uncheck default values checkbox, as the default values will be overwritten each time. One view can be imported at a time, so you cannot import values for multiple views in one go. What's next? Base formats. I'd advise you to just leave them as they are. Most likely you will not need dates to be set via import. Date added or updated will be generated by Magento itself. You will not need this option unless you import special prices from and to dates. Just one thing here, in case you are selling products with prices over 1,000 and you are using some comma or dot to separate thousands in file, specify the value here. Let's go further. One more step that allows you to upload file of basically any format like a charm. Here you can assign data from your file to Magento database fields. Mapping is quite easy. Just click the field on the left, and after that, click the corresponding column on the right. You're done. Also at the top you can see drop down where you select field to identify product. You should select the unique value that will be used to check matches in database. Store Manager will try to find product by selected values, and if one is found, it will be updated. In case of mismatch, the new product will be added. Moreover, you might have noticed that some important attributes are missing, like material, brand, or any other specific attribute that you have value for. You do not need to close window and start over. You can create missing attributes right here. Just use Add New Attribute button and create the one you need. Also, you can find expression field next to all database columns. It means you can set some special rules for the values. For example, if you're importing file from some supplier, it is a good idea to specify provider's name next to supplier database field. Just type the name in quotes. That's it. All products from this file will be assigned to the supplier you've just specified. The most common rule applied here is price change. Let me find price column and I will show you how to do it. Imagine that you need to add 20% markup to the price included in the file products are imported. I click on button with 3 dots. You will see from the add rule. Here you will find an example of formula that can be used for price adjustments in tips section. So the rule should be set like the number of column with price values from your file and this way you will increase price by 20% while import. It may look quite confusing, but actually it enables you with wide import possibilities. You can create some advanced rules on the basis of different criteria. For example, you might need to increase the sale price by 20% for goods with current price higher than $9.99. Or if they belong to Nike category. Otherwise, just increase price by 10%. In case you need to modify data for products that meet some definite parameters, leave comment to this video and I will assist you with it. Note that complex cases are resolved for additional fee. Anyway, let me check your case and I'll at least guide you so you could do it yourself like in Excel. At the bottom, there is an option to set default values that may be useful in case you have a file with a few columns. This option will set default visibility values for you. This is the most important import step. Ask questions and I'll find solution for your specific case, as the range of these options are pretty wide and they all cannot be covered in the single training. Now, when we are done, we can proceed, and on the next step, we will see data to be imported, taking into account the rules that we've just applied. If any errors occur while processing, you will see the notification with the red arrow below. We do not see errors here, so we can proceed. The final step offers some more general import settings, like import method. In case you have a file with new products, you can speed up import by selecting Just Add option. Additionally, you can choose to remove products that are not listed in your file or disable them. In case you have any default data there, you can enable this option. Default products will be removed. Also, you can shut down your PC once import is done. There is a reindex button that slows down the process. Though it is important to run reindex to see changes on Magento. So it is up to you to choose it now or use Magento admin to run reindex manually after import. There are also accelerating options that should be considered by techs, as they are useful or should be disabled in some cases. One more thing I want to mention is option to save import configuration. I recommend to save it every time, as most likely you will need to make import once again or use those settings for automated import procedure. It is better to use some informative name here to recognize these settings in the future. I do that all the time and have lots of configs saved. Next step is upload itself, so as soon as you hit import, the process will begin. The time import takes depends on your PC resources, the quantity of products and amount of rules you've applied. Though it is better to wait a few more minutes and do everything once, than to make it faster but apply tons of changes afterwards. After import, you will see logs and images queue at the bottom of the page. In case there are no errors in logs, just close the window and check results. Let's view our store and find any of our products to make sure the file was imported correctly. Here we can see prices, images, and all product-related data. Now, let's view the item at the front end. Nothing is missing or broken. The products are added successfully. This topic is really complex and I cannot cover all the points in one video. So ask questions in comments and I will make the video training for your specific case. Hope you had a great time with me and now you know how to import products. I will keep you updated about new features, so you are welcome to subscribe to my channel. Do not forget to request free trial version of Store Manager to try it with me during my next video. Also, have a look at Automated Product Import tool that allows you to schedule import with all of the above features. Bye.